Hi, and welcome to my interview with Thinkific expert Rob Galvin. I'm super excited today because we are going to deep dive into the awesome world of super power ups. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get in to the interview. We're going to go through some questions, explain to all of you who are new to power ups or who are curious about how power ups can really help you level up your business and why power ups are really the necessary stage for you to implement your business. So I'm super excited. Thank you, Rob, for making time today to chat.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on here, Gene. I really appreciate everything you've been doing to help spread the word. So thanks a lot for having me on. We can dive in and answer questions that people may have. I know there's a lot that we're putting out there. It could be confusing. So hopefully we can solve some of these problems or questions that people have so that they understand, hey, what's for me? Why should I use this? How's it
Yeah,
working for other people? All those sorts of things I'd love to dive into. So
great. So the question I get often from people who find videos about power ups on YouTube is like, how did this all begin?
yeah.
Because this is very new and it's really coming from you and your team. And where did you see the problems arise that led you to build this?
Yeah, sure. Great question. So before we introduced Power Ups, this was in May of this year, 2021, along with the App Store launch that I think it had. I've been working with clients one-on-one, delivering what I call signature experiences, where we're basically creating custom themes and custom experiences for our clients, Fortune 500 companies, big guru entrepreneurs, pretty much you name it, we've seen it. And that's what we've been doing for the past 5 years, but we can't scale that to everybody else inside of Thinkific. And when they started coming out with the App Store model, it was a great way for us to deliver what we're doing for our one-on-one clients in these apps or power ups. The kind of problem with the custom theme is once you customize a theme, it's very difficult to stay up to date with Thinkific's updates because your customizations will be overwritten. So with this new app model, it really allows somebody, just a typical site owner, to add new abilities to their Thinkific site and still be able to update their particular Thinkific theme with all the latest things that Thinkific is coming out with. So it's really a win-win for everybody. And that's why we started to create these individual apps or power ups, essentially.
This is a great question because I've had this question myself. So I noticed that these are individual apps that are power ups, but then just for my own sort of clarification, how I explain this, like there's also the other terminology of your website says there's super power ups. So could you explain, do we reference these as individual power ups or are they individual super power ups?
Yeah, good question. I know we maybe confuse people by introducing yet another terminology to learn besides apps, but we felt that we wanted to create, my whole goal really is to allow you as a site owner to be the hero to your business. That's kind of, you see all these like superhero things in the background. We lean into the whole hero model because that's what it's all about from my point of view, and seeing success in other creators by thinking that you're being a hero, not a business to somebody, you have a different mindset. So we always want to push this. You be a hero to yourself, be a hero to your business. I'm going to be your hero and giving you new abilities. So we lean into this whole superpower nomenclature. So a power up is essentially an application, and it could include what we call superpower sections. So let's say, for example, we have Playa, which is our course power up. Inside of Playa, we have three kind of superpowers. One is you can have a tour guide for your course player. Another one is you can, change the style of your course player. Or you can have, pop-ups that appear at certain points, depending on engagement or progress. Power Up is a collection of superpower sections or superpowers, and you can decide to use one or all of them. It just depends on what your goal is, really, in terms of what you're trying to accomplish.
So that's a good question. Like often enough, like we talk about, you have to approach power ups from the perspective of what problem you're trying to solve in your business. And so if we're talking about what problems people are solving in their business, what do you see as most like happening for people who, are curious about the power ups?
Yeah, exactly. Everything that we do for our one-on-one clients is based on this framework that I came up with, this Forever Fan framework. It's really tied to the whole superhero way of thinking. As a course creator, you're selling growth and transformation. And if you think about it, no matter if you're a musician, a creative, author, speaker, whatever, you have an opportunity to get somebody into your world and keep them there. and offer them more services, more products, a membership, a recurring model. So everything that we're trying to do is tied to different stages of this forever fan framework. It starts with getting people in, which is the lead capture. And then it's getting them to buy, right? And then it's getting them to be super happy about what they bought so that they buy some more or continue their subscription, and also to possibly then offer them other things that they could potentially buy. So it creates this, it's a lot easier to sell more products and services to people that are your existing customers and always trying to attract new customers. So if you look at my logo, it's this like little like infinity symbol. That's the forever fan framework. It's a small circle on top and a bigger circle on the bottom. That's the idea. We want to keep that circle on the bottom big because you have a lot easier time to sell to your existing customers. So everything that we're doing from the power ups is really tied to those different stages of making people happy, getting people into your world, getting them to buy more, making you look great, which is making you look like a hero essentially. So all those things are really important in creating this forever fan experience.
So what you're really helping people do with power ups and by implementing power ups is to retain their current customer base.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen for the past 5 years working with some of the top people. I know pretty much anybody could be super successful like they are. Lots of my clients doing 7 figures and multi 7 figures. And I want everybody to be able to achieve that. And I know it's possible. And you need to think of it in the right frame of mind. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give the site owner tools that they don't have today, whether Think hasn't created that ability for them, or we see different ways of using Thinkific in different ways to help them grow their business. And we know that by thinking of this way of being a hero, having an impact, and not just thinking about your information that's inside your course, that's such a really small piece of what's going to create your success. It's more of the impact you have, the memorability you create, the feeling that you invoke with your customers and your members, and thinking it as a different approach. So everything that we are doing is carefully crafted to create this experience for you without you having to figure it out. Lots of people that are typical site owners, they're the musician, the artist, somebody who knows how to use different tools, but they're not the marketing experts. And there's a lot of things to figure out. From our side, we're creating these tools, but we also know the marketing strategies. We know it's successful. Let us equip you with some of those abilities and show you how to use them, so you can focus more on engaging with your members or creating new products and services to offer.
Okay, that's really helpful to see where you're coming from. When you first developed these power ups, did you have a group of people that you tried them on, or clients that tested them before we as like customers got to like experience it ourselves? And could you tell us a little bit about that process and what kind of feedback and what kind of results did you start to see that helped inform the development and how these power ups are starting to get? Because I noticed, for example, like SideNav is getting so many updates from when I first started using it like a month ago to now. There's constant updates, and so your updates are very fast.
Yeah. You may not even know about the latest one called TikTok.
Oh, okay.
This one, speaking of fast, I'll just tell you this quick story. So we have a Facebook group where all superheroes unite. It's the Super Powerups for Thinkific. Anybody can join, even if you're not a member. And I do it that way because when people ask for questions, ask for new features, people have different views of it. And I like to have the community thrive off of that. So somebody had posted a question in there and it blew me away because I really didn't realize this was a problem. The question was something along the lines of, hey, I have courses that expire and my students have no idea that the courses are expiring. And I was like, what do you mean? Yeah. So you sign into your student dashboard and there's no indication that your course is about to expire. So what does that mean? That means that you had somebody who was interested. They signed up. Maybe they started. Maybe it's taking them a few days to get through your course or a week or whatever. And they have no idea that the course is going away. They forget, whatever. And now like they were happy and all of a sudden they come the next day and poof, it's gone. So I was like, that sounds like a pretty bad problem. I need to solve that right away. So literally my team the next day created this power up called TikTok. And it's essentially these widgets that you put inside your student dashboard that remind your students that the courses are about to expire. And more importantly, there's a nice button that they can click so that then they can upgrade. I never realized this was a problem. And it was only because a member had asked for it. And actually, I think the person who asked wasn't actually a Power Up Pass member, but we just went right in and said, wow, this is really a serious problem. Like I felt it was a serious problem that we need to fix and provide some help right away. So we love those sorts of things. We love when people ask for new features because It makes us think in different ways. And we know that there's so many different ways of using Thinkific.
Yeah.
We like to get different views. So what we do is our whole model is we're going to create new superpowers every single month. Like it doesn't stop with we release this product and here's the features and you have to wait 2 years for new features. We're going to add new features to existing products, but we're also going to create new power ups or new superpowers that will be available to members, and then also for people who just want to, buy them individually.
I see. But so TikTok is a cool story of someone who is interested in maybe not quite certain. Do they want one power up or do they want a whole access of lifetime access to all the superpowers? But could you talk about maybe the first power up that you developed?
Yeah, it's a funny name. People kind of say it all different ways, but it's supposed to be Play Yeah, which is a play on player, course player.
Okay.
And at the time, I thought that was witty and stuff. Half the time, people don't even know what it's called. So it's a play on playa. And the reason why we started off with that one was we knew everybody uses the course player.
Okay.
Everybody's course inside of Thinkific. And just by the way, we focus on Thinkific only. We don't do other platforms. Like we live and breathe Thinkific every single day. Probably more than Thinkific employees do. We started with the course player because we knew everybody has to watch a course, right? Not everybody uses Thinkific for sales pages. So we thought that the member experience is important. It's really about making sure your course experience is memorable, it's fun, it's engaging, it encourages people to want to complete the course. The whole idea with Playa was having you virtually there as a sidekick to the course player experience and kind of coaching and encouraging people at the right times. So we purposely started off with that one because we knew that would really apply to everybody. Then we moved down and layer into the student dashboard because we know everybody experiences student dashboard. And then now we're starting to move more towards the top of the funnel because now we know like lots of people are using different ways to get people into Thinkific. That's where we're focused really now. And most of our attention for the immediate future is to help people with their sales, their landing pages, their sales, their funnels. And we have an interesting product coming out in January called What the Funnel. It's a combination of workshop and funnel kits that you can use and that don't look like funnels. So you'll be seeing some of that. One of the things that we're also introducing is we equip you with the toolkit, the tools, but you might not know how to use them. So one of the models that we're going to be launching in January is this workshop model where here's a tool, here's a new superpower. Let's use it together. Let's create in the What the Funnel. It's going to be, all right, let's create a funnel page that's going to accomplish something. Here's the toolkit. Here's the training, how to use it. We introduced this to a special group of people last month. It was called the Pre-Sale Funnel Kit. It was released to the Course Builder Academy. Aaron Morin was running a group of people and he asked for some tools to help them. So we created this pre-sale funnel kit and it was done in this kind of fashion where it's just like workshop fashion. Here's the tool, but here's the training behind, follow along, build your thing, and you have everything you need essentially to build this funnel. So that's where we're headed in the immediate future.
Can you maybe talk about some wins that people have had from these power ups? Could you like name some examples? You don't have to give names, but name some results that people have so that people can see the impact before and after, numbers or anything that you think really captures the essence of what these power ups do.
Yeah, for sure. We usually grab 2 or 3 screen grabs a day on feedback inside of our Facebook group, or people send us emails. I have a whole kind of Canva folder of these social proof testimonials, which by the way, I urge people to figure out a way where you can just have a community tied to whatever you're doing, because that's a great way to capture like screen grabs. Genericize some of them. Some people were actually on the fence of leaving Thinkific or considering another product. And I have several of these that say, if it wasn't for this new dashboard experience or this blah, 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 we were not going to still be on Thinkific. So to me, that's like a huge win because now we saved their business on Thinkific, but we also saved Thinkific from losing a customer. So I think that's pretty powerful.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's a big for someone to have, that as a customer, potential customer, for someone to leave your platform or not even give you a chance and then suddenly have one add-on or one integration or one product change your whole experience and makes it so much more easier, more powerful, right?
Yeah, totally. And like somebody's like on the fence and now they're like all in. I go visit their site. I don't want to mention any names, but visit their site. And now I see, okay, now they have the membership. They have the 3 courses. We basically just opened up their whole entire thing because now the experience is a lot better on what they were looking for. That's what it's all about. We see a lot on the student dashboard side because we have side nav and Flicks, which helps you with student dashboard. A lot of people are saying like, oh my God, our members are just finding the experience so much easier because it's easier for them to find what they're looking for. They're not confused. They're not frustrated. Those are all retention killers. We have some other people who fit in the agency. I help other people on Thinkific. We have lots of even experts and other agency partners like yourself that are using our tools to help them with their business. So we're seeing a lot of that feedback as well. Hey, you just made me look like a hero to my client, things like that. So we love like hearing stories like that. And yeah, that's why we have the Facebook group and we encourage everybody to post their feedback there. And it's usually a great place to see other members can see other things going on. One of the other pieces that we were looking to introduce and possibly even at a larger scale is this thing called inspiration. So to quickly be able to see other sites like yours so that you can see and leverage the work that other people have done and get inspired. So we feel like inspiration is a huge motivator for people to want to make progress on their site, on their course, doing it in different ways. So seeing by example is something that we're really focused on, and we're trying to make it so that it's like an automatic thing that we're pulling from the people that are using our tools. So anybody who's a Powerup Pass or a Powerup member could say, I'm this type of person. And then poof, they see all the other sites that are like theirs. And then they can go to their site and see them.
Great. So my next question is something that often comes up amongst business owners, and it's price. And you have an interesting pricing model by a single app. And then you also have lifetime access. Is that accurate?
We have a few different ways that you can benefit from our Super Power Ups and Power Ups. One is you can just buy one of them, and it's not typical app models out there. And I'm not saying Thinkific app models, but typical SaaS app models are really looking for a recurring revenue, right?
Yes.
So you'll typically see another monthly, another monthly subscription, another yearly subscription. And we wanted to go a little bit against the grain and make it super affordable for really anybody to just pick one, pick two, whatever they want, and poof, they don't have to pay ever again. And because of the app model, the way the app model works is, okay, let's say you bought Playa, for example. You installed it into your Thinkific site. You paid $99. Right now it's $199, but it was $99 when we introduced it. And now today, you only paid $99, but 6 months from now, we have updates, Playa version 2. Like you're going to get those updates for free. That's the way the app model works. Like you're not paying ever again. So that's one easy way for people to enjoy some of these power ups. The other way is what we call a Powerup Pass. So this is essentially our membership where you're going to get access to everything that we have available. So there's two ways you can participate in that. One is by doing an annual subscription, or you can do a lifetime where you're paying once and you have everything that we produce forever, like for the next few years, for how long as we're doing this. And that's the whole idea is we don't want to let these things get in the way of your business. So we want to give you complete access to everything. You may not need to use all of them. We're going to be producing new ones every single month. It really is based on the stage you're at, the goal that you're trying to accomplish, the problem that you're trying to solve. That's where we guide you on which one you should probably be using.
So then that brings me to the next question, which follows up on what you said in terms of stage and price. And so what stage would you say a person is ready? So let's just say someone really likes Flicks because Flicks is powerful in the student dashboard experience. And so someone buys into Flicks at $199. They're looking to transform. Do you have necessarily a vision or like a goal or sort of recommendation for someone who is on Thinkific who's looking to grow their business? Like if you've implemented one power up, when can you say you're ready to start moving ahead and adding more?
That's an interesting question because a lot of people don't know what they really need. Like they're just focused on trying to get the course launched or get some momentum, get over the hump. They really don't need these other things. So the idea behind the pass is don't worry about that right now. We have you covered. My whole thing is imagine if they hire my team of people to always create and iterate for you and give you different things that you need as your business is growing. You number one have to get those people and you have to know what to tell them to do, or you can just leverage my whole team for a pretty affordable price. Even if you do the lifetime option, you basically have a team of designers, developers, marketing experts that is always working on Thinkific at the speed of lightning, right? We are working quickly to give you more than what you may be getting out of the box. And we are reacting to, as I mentioned, that TikTok example. There's another example that happened today that we're going to work on as well. But we're reacting to our members because we know if they ask for something, it's going to be important for other people as well. So, but like getting in and having a team that focuses on Thinkific, creating new things for you, to me, it's just, okay, if you feel like you're in it for the long haul and like, all right, you don't know what you need right now, but at least you have the comfort that knowing that you have this team here that's always working on new ways to improve your business. You don't even have to figure out those ways. To me, that's priceless, right? Like you can focus on your business, you can focus on your customers. You don't have to think about, okay, what kind of funnel should I do? And then start spending, like think about how much time it would take somebody, the average person who finally launched their course. And they're like, all right, let's do a video series funnel or like, well, I heard about this other thing. Now I have to investigate it, to figure it out, and then assemble it, to put it together. That's a lot of time in trying to figure out like, how can I grow my business? How can I make my members happier? We're doing all that for you, like thinking about these things, giving you the tools to do these things. So that's what the whole Power Up Pass is. Even if you felt, yeah, I just need Flicks because I want a bit different student dashboard. If you feel like your business is going to be in it for the long haul, then you might as well just grab us and lock in, you know?
Yeah. So I think the way you capture really well is that what your power ups do is it's not just a app or add-on onto your Thinkific site. It's really looking at the whole experience on Thinkific from start to finish and also helping you evolve that experience so that it's not just a static experience, something that's continually engaging or continually serving your customers.
It goes back to our framework of thinking. Yeah, sure. You can hire you can hire any developer, designer, marketer to do something for you, create a new page for you, create a sales page for you, implement it inside of Thinkific. Sure, you can do that. You will probably pay at least a few $100 for that for sure. But you know what the whole thing about the Power Up stuff is, you don't have to think about the other things. It's back to our framework. I want you to have a long lasting business. I want you to start thinking about these things. I want you to start using tools that are going to go beyond your content to make you more memorable, to make you more impactful, to have a deeper connection. I know those are the things that are going to excel your business and give you the confidence that you can get to the 6-7 figure level because I see it day in and day out. And it's more than just the course content. So it's the experience that matters. And that's what we're trying to equip every single thing of a site owner with the ability to have this experience that they need.
I really appreciate that. I think there's not enough looking at this from the whole perspective that it's not about an add-on or a tool that what you do and what you do to create these superpowers is really a collaboration and kind of holistic kind of framework that involves a lot of people. So it's not just give you a tool and you add it on and you think about where your business is headed.
Exactly. Yeah. And being a part of the community, I feel like we're all better together. Like, so when I think it was Sue who asked for that TikTok feature, other people chimed in and I was like, wow, like as a Thinkific expert, I don't really use too much of the standard experience because we're creating new ones. Didn't realize like it doesn't show the expiration date. So her asking that question and other people chiming in, we saw there was a problem. We swooped in with our cape and created something. And that's what it's all about. Like being part of this community, you can ask for things. And like I said, we love hearing that because we know that it's going to be important for other people. That one particular took us a day or two to put together and put it out there. Like it probably would have taken a lot longer than that if we were to wait for maybe it to be part of the platform. But yeah, that's what it's all about is this giving you the tools that we want to equip you with, but then leveraging us to create things that you may need right away.
Yeah. And so really when people are signing up for a power up, it's not about just signing up for a product to use a tool. You're signing up to be part of a community. Can you
Yeah.
talk more about your kind of approach to that as a business owner, as someone who is developing these products and apps for us as Thinkific customers? How do you bring that community philosophy and approach into your whole product?
Yeah, it's a big part. We didn't originally have this when we first started out. I was going back and forth on it in terms of, okay, should we introduce a community aspect to this as well? But I'm glad that I started to do this not too long ago. I want to say it was only a month ago that we started it. We have maybe 250 members inside the group right now. I think it's really important. And I'm so glad that I did it for a few reasons. So number one, we encourage everybody to post anything inside the community, even a problem. Our support, we used to have everything through support tickets. So I have a support team that was managing that, is still managing it. And some of the questions are how-tos. How do I do this? Like, why not just post that inside the group so now everybody can leverage that? So we basically changed models and we said, okay, Only thing we're taking on support is billing questions and account questions. Everything else is going inside the Facebook group because collectively I'd like people to see, even if it's, and people are posting things that we may have broke with an update, like problems that we caused, which is totally fine because we'll go in and fix it right away. And I want people to see that rapid response as well, instead of it just being one-on-one. So the community aspect is really important. We're really pushing everybody to the community. People who are interested in joining or buying, they have questions, ask them inside there. Current members who want more, post it inside there. We're seeing other people share as well. Hey, what do you think of my new page? What do you guys think? So the community aspect is really important for lots of different reasons, you know.
And so one of the things I wanted to ask you about, since you are really big on supporting and helping people learn from each other, is you have really great, in my experiences, your documentation, the way you outlined or broken down each power up and the videos along the way. Do you see potentially adding more videos?
One of the things that we're going to be introducing in January is this workshop model. So all Power Up Pass members will get this benefit for free as part of being a member. And we're going to be doing regular live workshops where we're going to walk through using our tools, but also even other things as well. So we're bringing in the learning aspect, the consulting aspect, the training aspect to part of the experience. So you have the tools, but you also have the knowledge and the ability to implement them really quickly. So I think that's going to be really huge in getting people to this is workshop style. It's basically at the end of this workshop, and we're going to keep them short and sweet. So we know it's something that you can schedule 30 minutes for, an hour max, like for, right? Where you're going to get something done. It could even be it could be a decision thing too. Like, how do I decide on pricing? Like that could be a workshop. Another workshop could be setting up just a lead capture page using one of our superpowers or using another tool. These what the funnels that we have, some of them are not even using Thinkific for it, like to start the funnel. It's thinking of the sales funnel in a different approach because I feel like people are so used to those long form sales pages and the sections that kind of go one after the other, and everybody's used to the same model. So you need to break that train of thought by introducing new ways to sell your stuff.
So with that workshop model, do you plan to record those or keep them on the website for people to go back and review?
Yeah, definitely. So the Power Up Pass members will have the replays available to them. People who are not a Power Up Pass member or not a subscription member or a lifetime member, they can pay to join the workshop. We're going to keep it, again, affordable, probably $99, something along those lines, maybe even $49, depending on what it is. So they'll get access to the live and the replay because I know not everybody can attend. So you'll have the ability to get access to the replays and lives.
Cool. So the other, I think, really interesting question is that you and your team are prompt and super fast at responding to questions and concerns and people looking for guidance. And so maybe you share with us like a little bit about your day and how because you also work with clients and how you keep up with everything.
I ask myself the same question every single day. I don't know how we do it, but we do it. It's really about, yes, we want to definitely respond to everybody that posts a question or posts a request as soon as possible. We always want to catch those things in the heat of the moment because lots of times the day goes by and even the person who posted it may not remember or recall what they're really asking about. So we always like to respond very quickly to those. Some things that we may need to put on the product schedule and say, okay, this is a good request. But we can't do it right now, but we'll get it in the next sort of release or the one after that. And I think because we're always pretty much every single week, we're probably releasing some updates to our power ups that are out there. We just feel like we always want to be in a position where we can be agile and react quickly. Even going forward, the way that we're trying to build these new power ups are more on the smaller scale. Like in terms of getting something out there quick, like TikTok. So TikTok is one superpower section. So you install TikTok and inside there, there's one section. It's using this new model that we call Snap, where basically it's one section and with a snap of a finger, you now have a different widget. So we're trying to keep simplicity in mind so we can get things out there quickly to our audience and iterate based on feedback. Basically, it's a whole agile approach.
That's great. And then the last question I have, could you talk about like how if there are people that aren't on the Facebook group, do you still offer support via the support tickets? And what would you say the average response time is so that people who are stuck and not on Facebook and I need help?
We know everybody may not be on Facebook, or maybe they may not like Facebook nowadays. So yeah, we're not going to ignore people, especially our Power Up Pass members. Like they get priority support. That's one of the benefits. So we'll respond to them quicker than somebody who hasn't purchased yet. And then somebody who has purchased obviously is also next in line. We also have a live chat widget on our site that gets into the same support staff that's managing the support tickets. So we see people going that avenue as well. So that's open for them too. And as far as turnaround time goes, it depends on the priority of who's asking the question. But typically we always try to get back to them within a few hours, definitely the same day. We don't really want things going longer than that. And how we push people to the Facebook group, even though they may not be on, we say, hey, we can have a conversation. Like, the support tickets, I feel, are always like, it is a conversation, but if you think of how practical it is in terms of communicating, it's really not practical. It's an email, right? Email is not practical for communication. The live chat is better. The Facebook is even better because now you have other people being able to add their own 2 cents in, and you may even get a different perspective from other people's responses. Yeah, support tickets, that's good, but it's not the best way, honestly, for us to communicate. So we try to push people to these other avenues.
Are there any tips if someone is curious about your power ups? What would you say, where should they start? Should they have a conversation with someone on a live chat? Is that the best way? Beginning journey with being like a super fan with your
Yeah, what should I do? How do I get started? How do I learn about this before I buy, sort of thing? So it's a really good question. I think people learn different. That's why we try to always put out a video as well as a text. People like to read or people like to watch. And then the other avenue is people like to talk. Like those are the 3 modes I feel like people fit in. So we like to support all 3 of those. Unfortunately, there's no way to take a test drive with the Power Ups as a trial, but we do offer money back guarantees. You install it, you don't like it, we'll give you money back, which we haven't really refunded too many people. I think maybe 2 people or whatever in this 5 months. But it's really a few ways you can learn. So one is you can watch the getting started videos that we have on all our Power Ups. You can see what the final product looks like. What is this thing doing? We also have our guides, our documentation guides. So every single Power Up has a whole set of documents. This is a requirement for Thinkific apps to have a support docs. So they'll always be there for you to read through all the different settings and see what's possible. I kind of like that model. This is my personal preference. I like videos because I can play them on 2x and really get through this information quickly. And then for the people who love to chit chat and see what's going on, then that's where you would go to our Facebook group because we have other members there. And our staff is able to help answer those questions. So those are the kind of the 4 ways. It's watch, read, talk, try it out. I mean, that's a 4 months.
That's really exciting. Can you share what your kind of favorite example of how someone has leveraged Power Ups in their business, a standout example?
There's a lot of them, really. I want to say the first one that comes to my mind is Colleen. I think her site is MK Quilts. She's like going all in on the superpowers and loves them. I think I even have a quote from her that says it made her look like a hero to her boss. Those are the words she used. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I want this thing to do. She's using SideNav for her experience. She has a pretty large course catalog with crafting projects and different crafting skills. It's really important to distinguish your different content types. And that's why we created this SideNav so you can easily communicate. You have courses and training and skills and resources. She's using our Ding Power Up to alert members of new content. I believe she's also started using TikTok one as well. So she's like somebody who's using all the things.
Wow.
And not because they have all the things, but they're actually like using them in the best way possible. Those are perfect examples because sometimes people will see the shiny objects and like, oh, let me try this, let me do this and that, but they really don't need it. They should be focusing on other things, but it looks like a fun thing to do. Colleen stands out to me as somebody who are using them the right way.
Can you talk about the growth? How many are using Power Ups?
Yeah, I'm really surprised. In May, we started this with the App Store launch, and I did this kind of roll up to Thinkific to tell them how things are going. And most of our audience is coming to us directly from even people like yourself or the partners or just finding us directly. And we've grown from over like 450 sites that we're actually powering up now. So yeah, over a couple hundred, people are using this. And yeah, it's been really well. I think we're looking to continue success in the coming year with these new things that we're looking to introduce, especially on the sales side.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that we're looking to do is really help you create the sales a lot quicker without having to think about it too much, and also be able to quickly swap out things and try different approaches and not feel like you're stuck. And I think that's what most people feel like they are right now. They're stuck with certain ways.
This has been really helpful. I, as someone who started making videos, have learned a lot about just your process and your whole goal. I think this has been really even eye-opening for me too, because now I'm like, oh, I really connect the dots for myself as I'm trying to teach people how you like, as in exposing people. And so one of the last things that I want to say is for people who are like curious, and we noticed like recently you offered a really big promotion for lifetime access. Can you give us any kind of hints whether any promotions are down the pipeline for people who are ready to dive in and be part of this community?
We are always evaluating the pricing. We know that at a certain point, there's going to be so much value in there. We're always looking to run different promotions.
We want to say thank you. I've learned a lot and this has been really helpful. So for anyone who is excited, curious, and wants to learn more, the best way to find out more would be either go to the website, superpowerups.com.
You can also jump into our Facebook group, which is Facebook.com/groups/Super Powerups. So I'm always inside of Thinkific Studios Facebook group. You can always tag me and ask me there as well. I live in both places. So
Okay, so that's awesome, everyone. If you're interested, I want to learn more. These are really powerful. And, I think the most important thing is our goal here is to help you retain your customers so that you're not always having to try to expand your customer base, which is still very important and necessary. But the idea and framework that Rob's business and agency works to help you become part of the Forever Fans Super community. So check out his website, superpowerups.com. Find Rob on Thinkific Studio. Find Rob in the Facebook groups. And you can also send a message through the live chat.
Yeah, we have people standing by to answer your questions.
So there's
you can do that.
many ways to get a hold of Rob and his team, but most of all, Rob is very generous and he's really cares to help. And so if you're interested and curious, the best way to get started is to jump right in and ask questions. We have some videos on here on YouTube. There's no better way to get started than by being part of the community. So
if anything, just join the community. That's not going to cost you anything. You don't even have to post anything. You can just sit and see what people are sharing. That's a great kind of like quick win. Just join it. And thank you, Gene, for putting together all those videos on YouTube. You did quite the work there. Putting together a whole playlist. So that's awesome. So thank you for doing that.
Come back and stay tuned for more behind the scenes of what Rob and his team are planning to help you all increase your sales and keep your customers.